Hello, everyone. I hope you can see me. I hope everyone has been having a great Global Hack Week. Out of curiosity in chat, who here is tuning in from Quinn's stream? Who here had fun learning R? And if you're new to Global Hack Week and it's your first time, feel free to pop in, say hi, let me know. We love celebrating first W's. I see a question asking, how do you register? So the first way to do that is to go to ghw.mlh.io. And from there, you can click the register button on the top right. I see some highs in chat. Hello, everyone. Anyone joining in from Quinn's stream? Anyone else tuned into the Global Hack Week streams yesterday or today? I hope everyone is doing great. I see some familiar names in chat too. So nice meeting you all. Great seeing you all back. And I guess without further ado, I will make my tiny head on the left-hand side make a little bit of sense. So today we're going to be covering making hacks better with GitHub Copilot. So normally I would put this in presentation mode, but the goal here is to be a little bit more interactive with switching in and out between the IDE. So yeah, so we're going to keep it in just this normal mode for now, and we'll see how it works. So without further ado, let's begin. So if it's your first time here or your 100th time here, the normal thing to do is to scan this QR code on the screen or enter this URL into your browser. and sign into the event. If you want to get the slides after, sign into the event. If you want to learn how to get GitHub Copilot Pro for free, sign into the event or stay tuned to the stream. If you want to get free swag for Global Hack Week, also use that QR code, sign into the stream. So I will drop that link one more time in chat for everyone here. There you go. Awesome. And I'm going to hide this over here. All right, and let's go ahead and continue. All right, so for those who don't know me already, I'm Ryan Lalu. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking, also a D1 yapper, so I'm gonna be yapping to y'all for the next 1 hour. And I am one of 3 Ryans at MLH, so not to be confused with the first or second one. And for those who know, if you know, you know, feel free to let me know if you know who Ryan number 1, 2. There's also a secret 4th Ryan, and I see he dropped a message in chat. Quinn is the secret Ryan number 4. And yeah, let's go ahead and begin. Oh, also, hi Quinn. Nice seeing you again. I hope you had a great art stream. I wish I tuned in, but I was a little busy this morning, but I hope it went well. So for those who are unfamiliar with GitHub Copilot or AI tools in general, there are 3 main things that Copilot, or again, AI tools in general, can do, and that is create code, explain code, and debug code. Those are the 3 main functions if you think about it. So you might ask yourself, why would you use GitHub Copilot? Why should you use it? Well, in general, the TLDR of it all is GitHub conducted a survey in 2022, and they found that at least 55% of developers found that they coded faster using GitHub Copilot, and 88% of them found that they are in some way, shape, or form more productive. So in general, if you use GitHub Copilot, you will probably become a faster developer, better developer, or more confident developer, or any combination of the 3. So let's go ahead and install Python. So Python is free to install. If you go to python.org/downloads, you can download it. I am 99% sure if you are on a MacBook, at least after the Silicon series release, it should be pre-installed for you, so there's nothing to worry about. But if you want, you can run python-v in your terminal window. So I'm gonna open up a terminal, and this terminal over here is a fancy super duper terminal. You'll see them sometimes at hackathons, but it's called Warp. It's basically your AI terminal. But before that, it was just a really nifty terminal tool to use. So let's go ahead and run python-v. So you can see here a lot of, where is it? Python 3.9. I don't know why there's so much stuff there. Oh, I'm in the interpreter mode. Okay, Python 3-v. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So you can see here, these are all my imports that are on my global, but the TLDR of it is I'm running Python 3.9 on my MacBook. So if you want to learn your version, just run Python-v. Also, I see Ved saying boom. And I see Quinvention, or Quinn, yeah, Quinn with the cool glasses. All right, let's go ahead and continue. So you can set up GitHub Copilot pretty much anywhere. I listed some IDEs here on the screen. One of my favorite ones here is Zed. If you know, you know. But you can also run it on VS Code, Visual Studio, Vim, NeoVim, JetBrains IDE. I'm pretty sure someone made a Scratch port. So if you want to code with Scratch, you can use GitHub Copilot as well. You can use it pretty much anywhere. Also Xcode. There's an Xcode extension now. So yeah, if you want to use Copilot, you can use it anywhere. So let's go ahead and get started with Visual Studio Code. So for those who don't have it already, it's again free to download. If you go to code.visualstudio.com, and it is a great IDE if you don't have it already. I'm gonna take a quick break to drink some water. I realize I am speaking 99,000 miles an hour, so I am going to slow it down just a bit. Sorry, y'all, for speeding through it. All right, so the first thing we can do here is we can install the GitHub Copilot extension. So right here is a pretty nifty keybind that you will, if you learn it, you will use it pretty much every time that you're in VS Code, and it's the command to open up the command palette. So if you're on Windows, if you run Control-Shift-P, or on Mac, Command-Shift-P inside of VS Code, you can open up the command palette. So let's try that right now. If I can open up Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to make it bigger for everyone to see here. So if I run Command-Shift-P, you can see here it opens up the command palette. So in the next slide here, we can see that we should search up for GitHub. We should search up first install extension, then we should search GitHub Copilot. So let's do that. So I'm gonna again hit the command palette, and I'm going to type in install extension. And when I go there, you can see all the extensions I have currently. There's quite a bit here, but if I search up GitHub Copilot, you can see I already have the 2 of them ready to go. One of them needs an update, but besides that, they're good to go. So once you install GitHub Copilot, we can go ahead and begin talking about a really cool opportunity. So for those who don't already have it, you should, I highly recommend, get the GitHub Student Developer Pack. It is, speaking with my coach hat off here, it is genuinely one of the best tools you have while being a student in college or high school, and you will really appreciate using it if you get it. And once you graduate, you will really miss the GitHub Student Developer Pack. And I speak from my own experience here. I really miss it. But if you want to sign up using mlh.link/GitHub. A few things to note here is that GitHub Copilot is free for everybody as long as you have a GitHub account. However, you get access to the Pro model for free if you're a verified student. So I see a message here in chat saying I applied, but it gets denied. So the TLDR of it all is GitHub is very particular and wants to prevent fraud just to ensure integrity within the developer pack product for students. So if you get denied, my best recommendation is add your .edu email or your school email to your GitHub account list. You can have multiple emails tied to one account. I would enable 2-factor authentication. In fact, I think that's actually required now. You have to have 2FA. And I would sign up using this link. If you use mlh.link/GitHub, it has a special identifier at the end of it, or a campaign code that will expedite your process. Once you go through the process, it's going to ask you to take a picture of your school ID, and it asks that it has an expiration date. Now, most universities, at least in the US, don't have expiration dates on their ID cards. So, saying that, it will either ask you for a transcript, or if it doesn't, it's going to auto-reject you. After it auto-rejects you, then you can apply again and add your transcript. So if you add your transcript, enable 2FA, add your education email to your GitHub account, and sign up using this link, you should get approved. And if you don't get approved, feel free to reach out in the Discord, and someone should be able to help you. So Peculiar Forest, if you haven't tried those already, let me know, and hopefully it works at least during the stream. Yeah, no problem. Hopefully everything goes well here. Crossing my fingers. All right, saying that, TLDR, this slide, get the GitHub Student Developer Pack. You will regret not having it once you graduate college or high school. Get it, it's worth it. You get access to JetBrains' entire IDE suite. So if you want to code faster with Python or Java, you have IntelliJ IDEA and PyCharms. A lot of cool stuff there. Besides that, if you don't have the GitHub Student Developer Pack, or it's going to take too long, we can go ahead and get started using the free edition here. So what you can do is, if you navigate to your settings, navigate to billing and plans, you can select plans and usage, find GitHub Copilot under add-ons, and then enable Copilot for free using the green button pictured below. So let's go ahead and try that. So I'm going to go to github.com. Hopefully, hopefully you all don't look at all my projects. I'm going to navigate to billing and plans. So we can find billing. Should be a way, I'm pretty sure. I think if I go to settings, let's try settings. Then I can go to billing and licensing. And next it says to find GitHub Copilot under add-ons. So, you can see that while you're a student, you do get the education benefit. And they changed the structure recently. Now it is a coupon. Oh yeah, you can see my payments there. Ignore that. Okay, there should be a Copilot. Oh, it's right here. Awesome. So you can see here, you can view everything about Copilot. I'm pretty sure that if you do not have it activated, you can click right here, go to billing settings and add your credit card. And just so you know, if you're, it shouldn't use or pay, shouldn't charge you at all as long as you remain within the free tier boundaries. If you go outside, it's going to charge you, but it's not the most expensive. It is pretty cheap. So yeah, so that's how to get GitHub Copilot for free. Again, you get access to Claude 3.5 Sonnet models for free, access to multi-file changes with Copilot edits, and it works in VS Code, different IDEs, NeoVim, Xcode, etc., and Scratch too. So yeah, pretty much great tool, free tool, and even more free if you're a student with the Pro plan. And I see we have someone already done in chat. Let's go. That is great to hear. So sorry, keep dropping up my taskbar. So let's go ahead and get started using GitHub Copilot. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go into VS Code and open up a new window. So I already have a new window open up here. Perfect. Yeah, sorry. And once we open up a new window, we want to clone a Git repository. So yeah, give me 1 minute. Let me check something. So I see a question in chat, how to use Codex in GitHub Copilot. So if I recall correctly, Codex is an OpenAI tool. I think it's a standalone tool, not related to Microsoft GitHub Copilot, but I can check that real quick for you. Yeah, I think they are actually two different products here. Very similar, but different companies. Yeah, so let's go ahead and, oh, no problem. Let's go ahead and clone a repository. So there is this Git button on the left-hand side. We can use that. Or if we're cool kids on the block, we can open up the command palette and type in git clone. So let's try the latter of the two. So I'm gonna open up the command palette. I'm gonna type in git clone. I'm gonna click enter, clone from GitHub, and let's clone from GitHub. So, sorry, we have selected GitHub already. Let's clone mlh/copilot starter. So mlh/copilot starter here. We are able to click that. Let me just install it in my GitHub folder, and let's name this GHW beginner Copilot. Let's select it as the destination, and let's open it in this window. So we should have everything good to go. So we have a few files here, and that's what these slides are talking about. They're talking about going through all these files and learning a little bit about them. So let's do the same. So hopefully everyone can see this here. If not, let me know. But can anybody tell me right now in chat what this piece of code does? Does anybody know what this code does? I'll give everyone here 20 seconds to respond. I know it's kind of hard. Okay, I don't see any takers so far in chat, so I'll go ahead and continue here. The TLDR of it all is learning code base is sometimes hard, right? Learning some ambiguous pieces of code like this, like second since epoch, kind of hard too. We can use our context clues to find, okay, well, we have this Python definition, or this function definition of second since epoch. We're getting the epoch and we're returning the epoch. For those who may not know more about that, we can type in /explain. We shouldn't even need to prompt it here. We can ask it to explain, and it should tell us, quite simply put, that it is a Flask route that returns the time since epoch, which is January 1st, 1970 at 0 UTC. And from there, it has some helper functions, and it has a route at the root, which will return seconds. So I see some questions in chat. Can you send the command to clone? Yes. So what you do is you type in, actually, I'll send everything in chat here. Type in one of these commands over here. Type one of these commands in. from there, type in clone. Where is it? Sorry, git clone. Yeah, you run git clone. Then after you run git clone, you select clone from GitHub. And once you clone from GitHub, you just type in MLH Copilot starter. Oop. Ignore that. Oop. Sorry about that. All right, we type in this command. MLH/Copilot starter. And you should appear here. Okay, so we learned a little bit about what this program does using the /explain command. Let's go ahead and try running the program. So now that we know a little bit about it. So I am going to go ahead and toggle the file explorer since we won't need it. In this terminal here, I'm going to follow the commands. So I see some questions in chat. For me, it is not working. Ooh, if you can give me a little bit more details about what specifically is not working, I might be able to help you out with that. Yeah, just let me know, give me a few more details and I should be able to help debug you or debug the problem for you. So what we can do here is we can be fancy and use a command palette and type in create terminal. Or if we're a lot simpler, we can just drag up from the bottom bar here and it will open up the terminal. So from there, we can type in python -m venv. What I like to do is I like to add the dot before the second .venv, and that basically tells us that we're going to have a hidden virtual environment folder that will be our virtual environment folder. So I see what is your CLI. My CLI right now is running Zish, which is the MacBook default. I searched git clone, but it shows no results in VS Code. Oh no. I think you might be typing Command or Control P. You might want to type in Control Shift P, which essentially, if you open up the normal palette or file explorer, you can just type in the greater than symbol. Sorry, can you all hear me? You can type in the greater than symbol, and there should be a git clone option. Yeah, type git clone right here, and it should appear. And if you don't have that greater than symbol, add the greater than symbol, and it turns the file explorer to the command palette. And I see Blue Poison has me covered. Thank you so much. Yeah, so you can see here, we've created our virtual environment, which now has this hidden .venv folder. And we can type in this command. This command is for Windows, venv script activate. So if you're on Windows, you can type that command in. If you are on Mac, you can type in source.venv/bin/activate. So it is a little different. So I'm actually going to add that here. Source.venv/bin/activate. I'll just do like a Windows, Mac, and hopefully that should help y'all distinguish between the two of them. Oh, and .v. Yeah, so that's how you do it on Windows and Mac. And from there, we can install everything through our requirements.txt using right here. We can type in pip install -r requirements.txt. And from there, it will install everything into our virtual environment. So I see need some instructions, stuck on having VS Code open. I haven't gotten to opening Copilot on VS Code. Oh, no worries. So are you able to get VS Code as the IDE open, or is the problem not being able to open it after installing it? Or is the problem activating Copilot? Just let me know and I will help. And I see Blue Poison has me covered again. Control Shift P when you see the greater than symbol, type git clone, and then MLH Copilot starter. And I see the question is regarding activating Copilot. Yeah, So if you don't have it linked already, there should be a GitHub Copilot icon on the bottom right of your screen here. If you click that and you don't have yourself logged in, you need to click on it and it's going to ask you to sign into GitHub. Once you sign into GitHub, it's going to either tell you that you're good to go if you did the billing instructions, but if you didn't do the billing instructions, it's going to tell you to do that. So yeah, just click the bottom right hand corner, that icon, the Copilot icon, and it should work. All right. And now that we have our packages installed, let's go ahead and run the command python-m flask run with the debug flag enabled. So you can see it's working there. So now if I just command click that, you can see we have a type error. So, and I see Jay Never says they have it. Awesome. Glad to hear. Keep me updated and let me know if there's any other problems and I can help out. So we have a type error here. So for those that don't have an acquainted eye with Flask, may not immediately know what is happening here. So we're getting a type error, and the error says the view function did not return a valid response. The return type must be a string, dictionary, list, tuple with headers or status, response instance, or WSGI callable, but it was an int. So what does that mean? I don't really, or I guess I know a little bit of it, but for most people, it's kind of hard to get there. So what we can do is we can go back into Copilot here. And what we can do is we can go back to our code. I'm going to minimize these two. And what we can do here is we can just type in Control A to select everything, Command I to open up this in chat Copilot, and we can just type in /fix with the type error. So doing all of that, that should give us the answer in the problem. So the problem is that Flask requires the view function to return a string or other Flask compatible response types, but your function is returning an integer. You need to convert the int to a string. So we can see here it's updated the code, and now we have a string here. So if you saw before, we didn't have string, it was just returning this integer, but now we've wrapped it in a string. So just like that, Copilot has given us a solution after explaining to us the code. If we save this and we go back into our server and refresh it, we now see we get the number of seconds since epoch. So if I keep refreshing it, you'll see it's updating every second. So I see Blue Poison saying, can we control I anywhere on the IDE, or is it a specific line? Yeah, so if you command I without selecting lines, it's going to select on the line you're on. If you select a group of lines here, you can command I and it will prompt for the lines of code you selected. Kind of a little bit complicated and nuanced. If you want to do multiple files or an entire file, you can either Control A for an entire file, or for multi-file and single file, you can go to the chat mode and you can add your context, which are files inside of your repository. Add it, ask your question, change your model. So here you say 2.0 Flash, 03 Mini, 3.7 Thinking, 4.0, 4.1, and you're able to prompt it all in here. So I see Hamad asking, in the last, could you please tell more on Android Studio with GitHub Copilot? Yeah, so if I recall correctly, Android Studio is a fork of IntelliJ IDEA, and IntelliJ IDEA has the ability to install GitHub Copilot. I'm pretty sure, I know it's going to sound abstract here, I don't have it installed on my computer, but I memorized it. If you go to the top left of your IDE, there's a hamburger icon, go into Project Settings. From there, type on the left-hand side search bar, type in extensions. From there, you should see GitHub Copilot as one of the first options in the extension store. So yeah, so also if I just Google Android Studio GitHub Copilot, you can see here that if you go again to the JetBrains Marketplace, you should be able to download the latest Copilot plugin and install it into Android Studio. See if there are any images for it. Yeah, and you can see it's working great here for them. So I see a question from Blue Poison. Could I run it back? What exactly did Copilot do? Did it change the code or add something to make it run correctly? I'd say both. So what it did here is, if I just Control Z a little bit, you can see the problem was that this function, seconds since epoch, was returning an integer. But Flask routes require a string or whatever Flask compatible type to be returned. So what Copilot did to fix it is it string casted everything. So it's turning this int into a string. And that's a valid type for Flask routes to return. So everything worked smoothly from there. I hope that explains it. And I see Hamad saying, thanks, got it. Awesome. And let me know, Blue Poison, if that worked for you too. So let's go ahead and continue on to the next slide here. So we can see they also got a type error. And using Command I and typing in /fix, they also had the exact same solution, which is crazy. Sometimes there's a few other solutions here. So we got it working. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to use Command I, the inline chat, to ask Copilot to make a new route. So let's ask it to make a new route for minutes. If I enter there, also, by the way, you should be able to, at least if you have the pro version, be able to change your models here. And from there, if I click accept, just fix the spacing there a tiny bit, you should now see Copilot has created a brand new route for us to use, and that is the minutes since epoch. So let's go ahead and save that and go back to our server and go to the minutes route. Minutes. And now it shows the minutes since epoch, which is great to see. So you can see the same thing here. Now, the next thing we can do is we can also use type ahead inferencing. So what we can do is, let's say we add a comment here and we're asking for an hours route, right? So now Copilot should automatically be able to tab complete everything here. So as I'm typing, I'm just hitting tab to autocomplete, and it's added in our tab using a comment. Now we can also do this without using comments. And let's say I just, it kind of inferred it here, but I type in app/routes and then /days, it should start to type inference everything here too. So yeah, pretty fast. And I see Blue Poison asking, wow, it's really neat. I think the /explain would be helpful for newbies like him. Yes, absolutely. 100%, completely agree. It is a great feature to learn a few things if you're looking at a code base brand new, or if you're in a hackathon and your teammates is coding something in basically ancient scripture writing and you want to figure out what they're doing. So it is a great tool to learn how to code. So we can see that we can type inference with comments and also type inference or tab complete, sorry, after we start typing a few letters. So let's test out our two new routes that we just created. If I save this, I can now go to hours. And we now have the hours since epoch. And we can also go to days, and now we have the day since epoch. Awesome. So we can see here that it is, the slides are showing the exact same thing. We see that it's showing the hours since epoch, and it's also showing the days, or I guess not days since epoch, but it's showing tab complete essentially here. So besides that, that is pretty much everything. Quick caveat here and warning. Remember, Copilot makes errors. It will make mistakes and it won't understand what you want every single time. So it's important that you read, understand, and edit the code that it produces. Essentially, the code that it generates should be the code that you would write. But you're a hacker, you'll do great. And again, if you want to get an extra teammate on your side added to your hackathon team or in your normal development journey, add Copilot to your team. It's free, it's nice, it's easy, and it's even better and faster if you're a student. But I see a quick question before I wrap it up. Can it also write comments by understanding the code itself? I'm sort of lazy and don't want to add comments regularly. Yes, let's try that. So if we go to Copilot, I'm going to ask it, I'm going to Command I here. Actually, let's use the chat feature. I'm going to ask it, please add comments or comments and annotations to this file. So I'm going to ask it to do that, and it should be able to generate the code here. Once it generates all the code here, I can click this button, which is going to be the replace in window. And you can now see it has added all of the comments to our program, which makes it a lot easier to read. So yeah, just like that, you can see here, we now get the type, I forgot what it's called, the inference, right? When we hover over it, it's giving us this description that we've typed in here. and everything is now more readable. But besides that, that is pretty much the entire workshop. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all enjoyed the 40 minutes with me today. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. And if you haven't already, get access to the GitHub Student Developer Pack and try it. I see one last question from Blue Poison. Would you say for coding, then the agent we should use would be Claude? Yeah, so I prefer personally using Claude for any code edits. Claude works pretty well. Also, Gemini works really, really well if you haven't used that before. In fact, I almost prefer Gemini over Claude personally. It's so much cheaper. And normally won't count as a premium credit. But if you have access to 3.7, use 3.7. It's great too. Hamad with a smiley face and Japrinas Chetty says, that was really great, but if you want to deploy, what would be your choice? If you're trying to deploy code, my personal favorite is Vercel. I love Vercel. You can set up a project in 3 clicks or in under 20 seconds. But that's a personal preference. But anywho, thank you all for joining me today. I will also have a stream in 2 hours from now. So if you want to catch me in 2, feel free to join me for a Figma to Code workshop. Also, if you want to catch Quinn again after his introduction to R, he will be holding the Today in Global Hack Week Day 2 right after the stream. So yeah, if you enjoy it, please feel free, come back in 2 hours and join me there. Or if you want, join Quinn in 23 minutes for a quick catch up on what we did yesterday in Global Hack Week. Besides that, thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all have a great Global Hack Week. See y'all.